Hello my peculiars and welcome back or welcome to my peculiar corner if you are new here. My name is Andy and here we are at yet another magical encounter. I hope you are getting cozy and you are getting ready for Halloween because we already have only 1 week left and Halloween is going to be here. Let me know in the comments below what movies you are about to watch. I just watched Beetlejuice last night and I think Hocus Pocus a week ago or something, and I'm planning to watch Beetlejuice and also the Hocus Pocus the second one, and some scary movies, definitely the Conjuring movies 100%. But anyway, enough about that. Today we are going to explore a very nice book that I acquired not so long ago and I really like it, and as we are gonna experience a magical paranormal part of the year, I choose to show you this book, and it's called The Witch of the Forest's Guide to Folklore Magic. Connect to the wisdom of our elders, embrace the power of green magic. This book is filled with beautiful things and beautiful illustrations of plants, the plants' connection to the zodiac signs, folklore, magical properties, and so on. But yeah, without further ado, let's explore this book and crack on with the show. Here I am back from the Peculiar Library with the beautiful copy of the Folklore Magic. This book was written by Leeds & Squire, illustrated by Vicky Lester. Now I paid on it, we have the prices on the back. It was £14.99, and I don't remember in crowns, but probably somewhere around 400 to 500 crowns. Now here on the back it says, discover the fascinating world of green magic and herbal folklore, guided by expert witch and historian, the Witch of the Forest. Learn how to concoct hundreds of medicinal teas, tinctures, syrups, oils, poultices and salves. Find rituals and spells to channel the magical properties of more than 40 plants. Uncover the fascinating history and folklore from ancient Greek mythology to Chinese herbal medicine behind some of the most popular herbs and flowers in modern witchcraft. Whether you are new to witchcraft and folklore or an experienced practitioner, with this book you can create and develop a green magic practice that is unique to you. Flip this jacket for a magical moon planting guide. I'm going to show you that at the end because it's a very nice surprise. I hope I'm not going to forget. Now, as you can see from the cover, we already have very beautiful illustrations. And here we have it. Again, you know I love plants. Like, my favorite subject at Hogwarts is care of magical creatures, of course, because I'm like a fusion between Hagrid physically and Newt mentally. And yeah, but I do love herbology quite a lot, and I love everything about plants. As you know, one of my most favorite books about plants that I own is 1000 Magical Herbs and Fungi, that was put together by my friend Alberto. I already made a video about and a flip through with that book, but as I promised before, I'm planning to make a special section on my YouTube channel with where we are going to read about the plants and everything else that it's inside that book. But anyway, about that more later. Here we have the content. So we have an introduction, things to know before reading this book, and then we have practical folk herbalism, herbs and flowers, trees, baneful herbs in folklore, and then we have some conclusions, cited works, further reading index, and some acknowledgements. And we start with the introduction. Beautiful kitty illustration. Who else is a cat lover out there? I am. We have 2 kitties at home and we are planning to get a 3rd one from the shelter now. Then some things to know before reading this book. What is folklore? What is folklore magic? What is green folklore? How can folklore enrich your craft today? For example, let's read about what is green folklore, and it says, green folklore, the focus of this book, is the stories and legends associated with herbs, flowers and trees from many different cultures that have been passed down by word of mouth. Then we have here practical folk herbalism, and here we have a nice illustration. It more or less looks like an altar. We have some potions, we have some daggers, candles, potion bottle, and also a cauldron. Then we have tea, which is my favorite. I'm a tea drinker, you already know this. I didn't have a cup of tea for a long time while making my video, so I need to bring back the peppermint tea. Then we have an infusion, and then here it explains to you how to make the infusion. So definitely get this book because it's so practical. Like, it's not only beautiful to read and look at the illustrations, but really you can put in practice most of the things that are in this book. Then we have tisane, which is in Italy. Tisana, it's a tea. Then we have oils. And here it says that the exact amount of oil and herbs to use are given in this book for each recipe, but if you are unsure as to how much to use when creating your own recipes, a good starting point is to use 3 times as much oil to the amount of herbs in the jar. Then we have tinctures, salve, and here it says to create a firm balm, a general ratio of beeswax to oil is 1 to 3. To make a semi-soil salve, a general ratio of beeswax to oil is 1 to 4. And to create a very soft salve, a general ratio of beeswax to oil is 1 to 5. Then we have a liniment, syrup. We love syrups, and here when there are the markets, for example, you know, like I call them medieval markets, but they are not, like, it's just farmers markets, and a lot of people are actually doing their own syrups, and we always buy from them. And my favorite syrup is ginger and chili syrup, and I always drink it during the winter because it really boosts my immune system. Then we have poultice, compress, and then we start with the herbs and flowers. And we have here a disclaimer. This book is written for reference and educational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional medical advice. Please seek the advice of a medical professional before using any of the plants in this book as a form of medicine, especially if you are pregnant or suffer with allergies. If you have any illnesses, consult a medical practitioner before using any remedies in this book. And that, guys, I can tell you from my side as well. Do not, even with teas, do not over drink any kind of teas. That, you know, always read about the plant that you are making the tea out of, because it can be dangerous for you if you have any kind of complications. Like, you know, there are certain plants, for example, that are decreasing too much your blood pressure or increasing it too much, or, you know, there are plants that are increasing your blood circulation and dilating your veins too much, or all this kind of things. So really make sure you read, make sure you discuss with your doctor if you wanna, you know, use remedies based on plants, and if you know, don't overdose on any kind of tea. Anyway, we start with Agrimonia eupatoria, and as you can see here, we have is more or less the same structure throughout the book. So it starts with the folklore of the plant, then we have magical properties, then here we have zodiac sign connected to the plant. In this case it's Sagittarius, and come on, it's Cancer. It needs to be, it's not Pisces or Pisces. I'm still working with the elements, the symbols. So now here we have the air element, and then we have the planet, and then magical properties, medicinal properties, and folk names, and beautiful illustration of the flower itself. Then we have medicinal properties as well. Then we go to basil, which is one of my most favorite, and then we have bay laurel or bay leaves. I'm trying to find one plant that is associated with my sign, Libra. Then we have calendula. Then we have chamomile, which again, I love chamomile tea, and it really helps a lot when you have sleep issues. Like, it gives you a nice and relaxed, calm sleep. Then we have cilantro, which I have to say that I'm not a fan of, although I started to like it actually, if it's not too much. But there are certain dishes when there is just too much, and I think it's overpowering everything else, all the spices that are in that dish. So yeah. Then we have clover, comfrey. This is a very beautiful plant. Then we have fennel, which again, I love eating it. I don't know about you, but I do love cooking with fennel, and I have a very nice pasta recipe with fennel that I invented, so I'm proud of myself about that. Then we have feverfew. Finally, a plant that is connected with my zodiac sign and also with Taurus, because the planet of Taurus and Libra is Venus. The element is water, but my element is actually air. And here we have magical properties: protects, prevents illness, can be used in banishing spell, purifies, prevents accidents, and promotes safe travel. Then we have medicinal properties: treats swelling, cures fevers, relieves pain from menstrual cramps, treats migraines and headaches. And folk names, we have devil daisy, featherfew, featherfoil, featherfully, fibrifarge plant, fleetwort, matesweed, matricaria, Missouri snake root, nosebleed, prairie dock, rain fern, vetervu or wild chamomile. Then we have juniper, lavender, one of my, again, favorite plants. And it helps with the sleeping and calms down as well. Then we have lemon balm, Melissa officinalis, which again, this I have in my garden. Marjoram, we are using a lot of it for cooking. We love using spices in this household, so yeah. Then we have mint, of course, my favorite tea, it's peppermint. Mugwort or Artemisia vulgaris, one of my favorite plants. Then we have mullein, verbascum tapsus, beautiful flower. Then we have nettle. I love nettle tea as well. And the zodiac sign is Aries. So let's read a bit about the element of this plant is fire, planet is Mars, and we have magical properties: protects, removes hexes and curses, wards off evil, promotes well-being, boosts strength and courage, and purifies. Medicinal properties: treats lower back pain, helps arthritic joints, treats eczema and acne, regulates hormonal imbalance, relieves menstrual cramps and heavy bleeding, treats urinary tract infections. And the folk names are burn hazel, Ortiga anca, and stinging nettles. Then we have oregano. Okay, again, we are using this a lot in cooking. Parsley as well. And again, we have Libra here connected with parsley. Then we have peppermint, finally, my favorite one. And the zodiac signs is Gemini and Aries. Then we move on to rosemary. And of course, rosemary is very important in our household. If you combine rosemary with oregano and what is marjoram as well, and thyme, you will get a very nice Mediterranean mix, which is going to make your food taste very good. Then here we have still rosemary. Then we have thyme, as I just mentioned it. Then valerian, which I like valerian in teas. If I'm not mistaken, you can make valerian tea. Then we have the 9 herbs charm. So we even have a charm. If you want to pause and read, I think you will be able to see. I am bringing it closer, and here it says something to avoid mugwort and bethany if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Note that buckthorn is a laxative. Then we have flowers: carnation, then chrysanthemum, then we have daffodil, which I like it a lot. We have a lot of daffodils in our front garden. Then we have daisy, dandelion, then jasmine, which is my absolute favorite when it comes to green tea. I love jasmine green tea and peppermint green tea. Then we have primrose, which always makes me think of Hunger Games. And then we also have poppy seeds, which in Czech is very famous. They are, I don't know if still, but one of the biggest producers of poppy seeds in the world. Then we have rose. And then we are going to trees. We have birch, which I like a lot. It gets, the leaves are beautiful during autumn. Then we have elder. We do make a lot of elderflower syrup in this house as well. And here it says a disclaimer: do not consume raw elderberries. Yes, do not. The flowers, you can take them, boil them, make syrup out of them, but do not use the berries. Then we have hawthorn. Then we have holly. That's the ilex, which obviously it's a staple of Christmas, right? Then we have oak, which we have a lot of them in our garden actually. Because we have a forest next to our garden and it's just mainly oak trees. Then we have rowan. And then we have baneful herbs in folklore. Oh, there it is, the beautiful foxglove, my most favorite wild plant. And we start with belladonna, which we know it's highly toxic, so watch out with these plants. Then we have datura, which is also called thorn apple and devil's snare. Devil's trumpet, Jimson wheat. Then we have foxglove, my favorite, Digitalis purpurea. Now really pay attention with this plant because there is a chemical in their composition that is increasing blood pressure, heart rate, and many other things. So yeah. Then we have hemlock, which is also called carrot fern, devil's porridge, or poison hemlock. Then we have mandrake, mandragora, which we all know from the Harry Potter series. And here it says do not touch or consume. We have very nice signs, so you know, for each plant. Then here we have mistletoe. Again, with this one, watch out. And also if you have cats in the house, watch out with mistletoe. Do not allow them, you know, if you put mistletoe in your house, do not allow the little balls to fall on the floor, so your cat do not ingest them, because they are dangerous. It's dangerous for cats also. Then we have monk's wood and a beautiful illustration of Fluffy here, the Cerberus. Then we have some conclusion. Cite it works, because why not? You know, every time when I say, okay, my collection of books is final now, I go back in the back of a book and then I'm like, oh yes, okay, there is further reading. So here we go, expanding my library. It's never ending. And then we have obviously the index and some acknowledgements. And here we have a bit about the writer and the illustrator. Now, I really hope you enjoyed going through this book with me. As I said, it's a very recent acquisition of mine, and I'm very happy with it. And I definitely recommend you to get it if you like, you know, making oils and teas and stuff like this at home. And before I forget, I want to show you the map I was telling you about in the beginning. So the book without the dust jacket looks like this. And then we have the beautiful lunar map on how to plant and harvest, I think even veggies and stuff like this. They give you everything here, best time to harvest. And here we have, you know, we have some tomatoes, you have carrots, onion, that's turnips I think, and then you have cabbage. So yeah, very nicely done, the book. I'm gonna put in the description links to shops where you can find this book, so feel free to check that out. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite flower, which is your favorite tree, which is your favorite wild plant. As I said, for me, I would go for definitely foxglove as a wild plant, and I love jasmine as a flower. But my favorite flowers ever are violets. Actually, I love the smell of violets. And yeah, when it comes to tea, I'm a huge drinker of peppermint tea, and also green tea with jasmine or green tea with peppermint. But yeah, I'm very curious and I want to get to know you, my watchers, more. So just let me know in the comments which one is your favorite, even teas and so on. And don't forget, until next week, two very important things. Stay magical, stay peculiar, always. Bye for now.